Well, here we are in beautiful El Segundo, going to meet with Bill Ruane on commercial real estate. Let's go visit with him now. Come on. Bill, you know what I think many of us viewers and self-employed business owners are unfamiliar what it is to actually own commercial real estate instead of only leasing it.
Exactly, and it's more common because you get such a habit of just going from one lease to another lease or renewing a lease versus the opportunity to purchase the building. Your location is probably one of your primary identities for that business. Small business administration loans were very tough to have 5, 8 years ago. Now they're much easier, just having a decent credit, and now it's 10% down, 15% down if you're a restaurant, which is very minimal comparative to a normal commercial loan, which is 35 to 40% down, as long as you occupy 51% of the building or more.
What happens to that square foot that I won't be utilizing, that I might rent out to another, well, to my tenant?
The money that you would get, the rent that you would be receiving, will be credited toward qualifying for your loan. And also that idea that they're helping paying lets you qualify for a larger building. The tenant is paying for the taxes, the insurance, and any repairs for that building.
For 10% down?
Yeah. You're really trying to encourage people to own their own building and take pride in it,
I understand you have one of your recent buyers right here in El Segundo.
Correct. Matt Krabs and myself, he works with me commercial, and he educated him on the benefits of owning. Even though they owned before, this was a second building, and financially they weren't sure if it was going to be stretching them or not, but with the programs that the SBA program had, it was affordable.
Well, Bill, let's go visit with Matthew now. Come on. Matthew, thank you so much for inviting us into your beautiful space here in El Segundo. Did you always know that you wanted to own a building?
No, I didn't really ever see myself owning my own building.
Who taught you to buy, and how did you know to buy instead of to lease that space? What was that switch?
We were in town to look at this shared space. We parked in front of a building that had a sign on it for sale, and my wife said, "Oh, we should call on that building just to see." Bill Ruane's name was on that sign. We gave him a ring, and sure enough, that building was way out of our price range. But Bill said, "Well, what are you looking for? Because I've got a couple properties that are off market." And I told him, and he said, "You know what, let me send you these 2 addresses. Go drive by them and call me back. Let me know what you think." The very next morning, we went and toured both spaces. And by the end of that day, we had an accepted offer on the one we loved. We ended up in front of that Bill Ruane sign that day. It was meant to be, and I don't think we would be here today if it wasn't for that.
Thank you again for joining us, Matthew, at your amazing building at Sweet Spot Media.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
So this would be your second building you bought. What gave you the courage, I should say, to buy a second building versus leasing another building?
The success we had with our first purchase. We went into that with a little trepidation, not knowing what to expect. It was our first commercial purchase. We had the mentality of, if you build it, they will come mentality.
Yeah, right.
And it worked. We got lucky. We worked really hard, but we got really lucky. And in 3 short years, we expanded beyond the confines of that space.
So the equity in that building also helped you buy this building, correct?
It did. We increased the value of that space, which increased the equity, really helped us kind of capitalize on the investments we made over there and turn those around and use them as buying power to be able to purchase a second space.
And then did you get an SBA for this property?
We took out an SBA loan on our initial property. We basically expanded our existing SBA loan, which allowed us to purchase this building and move, part of our office over here as well.
I want to thank you again, Matthew, for coming and joining our American Dream TV show. And again, your amazing courage to move to the second step in your second building. Thank you. I'm Bill Ruane, and thanks for joining us on the American Dream. Till the next episode, take care.